Hello guys, Dr.Pitanger there, and 2 days ago, Lazy Altars event was released, meaning IS6 is right around the corner, so as someone who has played many roguelikes for a moderate amount of time, I figured it would be a good idea to give you my 5 wishes for future IS. I know I'm only a pretty small channel, I know Hypergriff probably doesn't know about me, still, I want to express how I feel IS could be improved. Without further ado, let's start. First point, never, and I mean never, introduce another item like the Lamp of Wishes. This goes completely against the very spirit of what makes IS a roguelike. Good roguelikes are supposed to have a lot of variance, and you're supposed to adapt to what the game gives you. Take Slay the Spider, and a character like the Silent for example. The Silent has around 3 viable decks: Shivs, Poison, and Discard. Of course, this is not an absolute rule, and you can perfectly play a Discard plus Poison deck for example. But in any case, forcing a deck is usually impossible. If the game wants to throw 5 deadly poisons and 5 bouncing flasks at you, you're going for a poison deck, and IS should work the same. You shouldn't have to think, oh, I'm gonna pick the lamp and then I can do whatever I want since my run is now 95% scripted. This shouldn't be a thing in any roguelike at all. Second point, for the love of God, stop making endings RNG based. I thought with IS5 that we had gone a long way since IS2 and 3 that all had RNG endings. IS4 didn't have any. You of course needed to have some anti-interference index in order to find the lost and found for ending 2 and the scouting node for ending 3, but usually it wasn't that complicated. The first 2 alternative endings in IS5 were also pretty much guaranteed. Ending 2 was literally guaranteed, and for ending 3 you only needed a lost and found, then 3 plans, which wasn't that hard to get. Even ending 4 wasn't that much RNG reliant. You only needed 1 lost and found, then 1 face-off. Then, explain to me why we need 2 non-fucking guaranteed encounters for ending 5. This is a complete step back and shouldn't be a thing. Operators you get shouldn't be guaranteed. Relics you get shouldn't be guaranteed. But endings have nothing to do with this. Third point, and again, I have never played IS6, so I'm sorry if there's something similar in this game mode, but I would like one thing back from IS3, and this was quests. Were quests well designed? Not really. Gaining light as a quest was a stupid idea, and the rewards were pretty subpar. Still, I feel like these were a great idea, and with some reworking, these would be a very good addition to recent integrated strategies modes. Fourth point, stop having incentives for rerolling, like automatically randomly promoted operators with certain squads giving you random items among a pool of several others, or even random starting boons. The spirit of roguelikes is usually not about rerolling. Again, it is about starting a run and going with the flow of whatever the game gives you and adapting, not simply saying, I don't like this start, let me do it again. For this, one fix is easy. Just have one pretty good fixed guaranteed starting boon even if you die early or reroll, kind of like Niao's Lament in Slay the Spider for example. Fifth and final point, while I really appreciate monthly squads and expansions, as well as the variety of builds items like Hands offer, I would also love that Hypergriff would buff a selection of operators each month. For example, give Carnelian or Siege double stats for 1 month or this kind of stuff. I feel like this would be a pretty good way to encourage build diversity to change the meta more often than every season, and this would be a much better way to introduce the game mode to new players rather than having to use the lamp. So there you go guys, these were my 5 ideas to help improve future IS modes. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see, leave a like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.